Welcome, race fans, here at the Demon Truck Series. We are here finally with the Demon Truck Series. They are at Nashville Super Speedway in the trucks. Out here tonight, definitely going to be a fun one to go. Mike S. White in the race lead over Gary Smith in the number 3 machine. Justin Potts out there doing what he needs to do. In P3, the Nashville Super Speedway, kind of a hard one to do. It's definitely a different track than what a lot of these people are used to. But nonetheless, we're still able to do what we need to do to get stuff done. So as it sits, as of right now, everybody doing what they need to do, getting themselves up to speed with everything. Making sure Nashville Super Speedway, one of those tracks where you essentially got to lift a little bit earlier than what you would think you'd have to into a quarter. This is one of my favorite tracks for a mile and a half. It's Gary Smith. Looking to put himself up into P number 1. As he does so. So Gary Smith able to take over the race lead. Do what he needs to do. So far, so good. All green flag. 17 laps in to this race. We'll go ahead and look and see how many laps this race is here tonight. So looking at the schedule, it doesn't say how many laps it is. So 100 laps out here tonight, and they are on lap number 19. So 80 laps to go so far in this race. Racing is still going on out here, seeing what all can be done as Gary Smith still with the race lead. Eddie Baker looking
all right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution flag is out for the first stage of tonight, coming on lap number 24. Everybody going to go down into pit lane, get some service on their machines. Go ahead and get this. Up and go. Downloading all the paint schemes there. So it looks like everybody going to go ahead and get lined on up once again and get this truck race back to going. So both lanes lined up side by side once again. Get ready to go back. Green flag racing going down the backstretch.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back on out for the race lead as Gary Smith able to check on out super quick.
All right, man. Caution is out.
As
Caution is out.
flag is out once again. Back here, look and see what had happened. Oh, Jay Monin. TJ Handley getting in the back of Jay Mona, and then obviously getting in the back of Charles Whitehead. All right, so pace truck going to go in this time by. They're going down the backstretch for one more final time under pace speed. Then they'll be able to get back going and getting the thing back up to the race pace. Gary Smith, Eddie Baker going to lead these drivers off to the green flag this time by.
Green flag, green flag.
Is the green flag is out. And we are underway. Gary Smith able to get clear of Eddie Baker for the race lead.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution flag once again. Charles Whitehead being involved. We'll go ahead and look and see what happened to the number 51. Through turns number 1 and 2. Oh, gets a little bit loose. Comes down right in front of the number 54. Nose first into the wall. I'm going to bring out our third yellow flag of the night. Pace truck in this time by Eddie Baker. Going to go ahead and
Green, green, green.
try to get on around the number 3 machine this time by. Not going to be able to do it. The 3 is going to get a better launch off of the restart this time. So Gary Smith still with the race lead. Mike White falling back ever so slightly. All able to make it work and happen. But nonetheless, everybody able to make it happen where they need to go. Number 88, Chris Sofield losing a little bit of time. Justin Osterman in the number 35 machine. Mullet. Trying to make his way up towards the front. He's currently sitting P at number 8 at the time being. Robert Gillard really throwing that truck in there down on the inside. Trying to make something happen. He ends up making it work. As it sits right now, they're doing whatever they need to make it happen. Making everything work that they need to make it work. Robert Gillard able to get on by, currently sitting P number 10. For the time being.
Alright, man, caution is out.
Caution
Caution is
flag
out.
is on out. That's going to be the end of stage number 2. 50 laps to go here for the second stage. As they're going to do what they need to do. So far, so good. 2 stages down, 1 stage left to go. 50 laps the distance for the final stage. Definitely gonna be something fun to watch.
Green, green, green.
All right, back to green flag racing here. Finally, 55 laps out of 100. Kevin Coleman with the race lead so far here tonight, doing what he needs to do. Look at me. Kevin Coleman still with the race lead, up 13 positions from where he has started. Making his way up to the race lead. Has gotten it away from Gary Smith and has not really wanted to look behind him so far. Wants to keep carrying this race lead. He's keeping it so far, doing what he needs to do. As Gary Smith makes his way back to P number 3 for the time being. So we're currently on lap number 62, coming around to take lap number 63. As we have just under 40 laps to go so far in tonight's race. You're able to catch the Cup Series back in action this Thursday night for the Ghost Cup Series. As they go to Daytona Road Course It's definitely going to be something fun out there to watch. Daytona road course, a little bit different than any other road course that we've seen on the schedule. So can't wait to see how that one goes. You'll catch myself in the broadcast booth for that one on Thursday night. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch, so make sure you guys tune into that one on Thursday night. Also on Thursday night, you're going to have the Core GT Series with Carl Handwork and John Obinger with Tyler, a new up-and-coming broadcaster for CRN in the broadcast booth for that one. Back here once again, lap number 68 out of 100. And it's still Kevin Coleman with the race lead. Eddie Baker going to do whatever he can to do a little bit of bump drafting with his teammate to help secure for WFL Racing. Gary Smith, once he lost that lead, the dirty air comes into effect, especially at Nashville Super Speedway. But I do have a special guest in the broadcast. It's Mr. Maverick, a 1-year-old. What we call the action in the broadcast booth here for the Ghost Demon, or the Demon Truck Series here on Tuesday nights. Currently sitting in my lap, blanket on, just kind of chilling, just waiting for it all to be over with. But back to the action. It is Gary Smith with the race, or in the last podium position, back in P number 3. Doing what he needs to do. Eddie Baker all over the back bumper of that number 00. Looking here, it looks like TJ Hadley trying to find a way around Justin Potts, is not able to do so. Then you got Mike White right behind him trying to do what he can do to get on around both of those drivers. So far, so good So these two, Eddie Baker and Kevin Coley, still nose to tail doing what they need to do to keep themselves up front and pull away from Gary Smith. So far, it's just these two. Lap number 75 out of 100 is complete. But we're going to go ahead and take a short little break here on a CRN. We'll be right back. they are back. Here, 10 laps to go for tonight's race. Definitely going to be a good one to go as Gary Smith back in the race lead. Took over the race lead. He's got a little bit of a gap over Eddie Baker. Eddie Baker is just behind Charles Whitehead and Justin Osterman. As they both look to take the race lead and get their race wins. As they have 8 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. So far, Gary Smith with the race lead, but the gap is closing ever so slightly between Gary Smith and Eddie Baker. And Gary Smith has nowhere to go. He's stuck behind Charles Whitehead. He's losing a lot of time. Eddie Baker is now there. Going to have a good little dogfight between these two. Who's going to be able to get the race win? Eddie Baker going to use the outside lane to his advantage. He's got clean air. He's going to be alongside of the number 3 machine. 3 is going to slide up just a little bit. They're going to be able to not to make contact. A little bit of contact coming across the start-finish line. 4 laps to go here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. Eddie Baker trying to do what he can to get on around to Gary Smith. Going to be side by side, almost door touching all the way down the backstretch. Able to keep it off of each other. So 2 laps to go. Eddie Baker able to take over the race lead here tonight over Gary Smith. Both drivers try to do everything they possibly can to get that race win. Both doing everything they possibly can, but it's going to be Eddie Baker. 1 more lap to go. White flag this time by. All over the back bumper of Charles Whitehead. Charles Whitehead not on the lead lap, or he is on the lead lap. Just got to get out of the way of the race leaders here tonight. But it's going to be Eddie Baker coming around to take the checkered flag. Eddie Baker is going to be another winner here in the Demon Truck Series. Congratulations to Eddie Baker on a well-deserved win out here tonight. Gonna go ahead and get our top three into the broadcast booth here quickly. Kevin Coleman is here, ready to go. Mm, there's so many. There's just so many. As now we are finally joined with our third place finisher. That's going to be Kevin Coleman. Kevin, this is
Can you hear
Dylan
me?
in the. Yeah, I got you. This is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth. Get a copy. Kevin, you got me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. All right, so you come in here. You and Eddie Baker pretty much had the same exact idea. Wanted to be up at the front, leading some laps. That ended up happening, but then the pit stops came aboard, and you ended up falling behind Gary Smith and Eddie Baker, coming home with a top three finish. You can't be too mad about it.
No, obviously I always want to win. I feel like for once I played the right strategy, but did not perfect execution coming on and off pit road. You know, and Gary pitted a lap before us, so he was ahead of us. And I don't know, from the time we got out of the pits, I was 2.4 seconds behind the leader, and I ended the race 2.4 seconds behind the leader. I couldn't gain anything.
Yeah, Nashville Super Speedway, just one of those tracks where it's a little bit more different to go into the corners. This is one of my favorite tracks, other than Indianapolis, the big course. But yeah, it's Nashville Super Speedway is essentially just a pretty much one lane track. I mean, down on the inside is the way to go if you want to make any type of runs at anybody and get any type of positions. But I mean, once you get out of that draft, you don't really have any more draft to go on about, and or any positions to make up. It's just hard to make up any time.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a big fan of this racetrack. I still don't know how to drive it, so I'll take P3. I was happy to lead. I thought I had the right call, taking two tires on coming out of the second stage, and you know, it just Eddie's awesome, Gary's awesome. I barely sit in the sim, so I should be happy with third place.
Yeah, so all right, look, I'll give you a little driving lesson, even though it's already past 100 laps. But basically, in turns number one and two, where the uh, purple ally signs are, that's pretty much where I'm lifting, getting on the gas or getting on the brakes, letting off the throttle, and getting all the way down to the yellow line, holding it there. Then down the backstretch, there's another set of ally signs, or maybe it's Rackley signs, or whatever the case may be. I know they're purple. That's where I'm braking, getting down in the corner, keeping it tucked tight and tucked up to that yellow line. And it's just you really got to back up the quarters to save a little bit of tire wear, and that's just how I've learned to drive it from the Team Conti guys and Dustin Hall and everybody. So I kind of took that with me. Actually had a uh, driving lesson from tonight's Coke Series winner of Briar LaPrade here at this racetrack, and ended up working in my favor, especially in the Cup car. Obviously, trucks drive a little bit different, but obviously, like you say, you're not really in the sim as much as a lot of these other drivers. So whenever you do get to get on and race, you got to use that time of practice to figure out how to run the racetrack, and you know, P3 is not too bad.
Yeah, want to win, man. Eddie's racking up wins. Gary's racking up wins. I only got two. Um, so I don't know. I don't know where we're racing next week, but I'll try then.
Yeah, definitely going to be something fun to watch, but. Actually, looking at the schedule now, you got Daytona next week.
Road course or super speedway?
Super Speedway. Well, no, August 13th. Yeah, because we're a week behind. So yeah, it'll be Daytona the regular. They ended up taking away the Daytona Road Course and ran the smaller Indianapolis IRP. So you got Daytona next week, and then you start the playoffs after that. So end of the regular season next week, and then after that it's playoff racing.
Yep, can't wait. Maybe I'll beat them then.
Yeah, definitely want to see you get yourself back into victory lane before the end of the playoffs and the regular season. But Kevin, before we let you get on out of here, celebrate that third place finish here tonight. If there's anybody on that 00 machine to like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
No, just Eddie Baker for always helping me out. Like I said, I don't get a lot of practice time. I just jump in, practice for the 45 minutes or whatever before the race, and that's about it. So Eddie helps me out a lot, and yeah, I appreciate that. One day I'll be as good as him.
All right, buddy, we're gonna go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that third place finish, and we'll be talking to you again hopefully next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you much.
All right, that's going to be our third place finisher of Kevin Coleman. I'm going to go ahead and grab our race winner. That's going to be Eddie Baker, the number 84. Eddie, this is still at the CRM broadcast booth. I'm finally back. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, buddy. Well, not as good as you. Obviously, you came home with a race win. I was talking to Kevin there a little bit. You guys pretty much had it set up to where Uh, you guys were both 1 and 2 on the racetrack. Pit stops ended up happening, and then it ended up being Gary Smith out there ahead of you. And Kevin, you were able to catch Gary, but Kevin not so much, as Kevin had to take away that third place.
Yeah, I think we had the best long run trucks of the night. Gary and also Mike White were very fast on the short run, but Kevin and I kind of geared the truck to be a little tighter and kind of fall to the looser side. So on the long run, you could really plant the right rear center off. Um, it worked in our favor. We were right there at the end of stage one, and then stage two was kind of a wreck fest. So, I mean, it was pretty much a short sprint. Anybody could have been good there. So, it doesn't really count much for that. But I think we would have been a lot closer to Gary after the pit stop. We collectively as a team didn't seem to get off the pits as good as I wanted. We did buy the charter of the 47, so Bryson is part of our team now. So we got him on board, and he was able to leapfrog both of us and got off pit road pretty well. And then the spotter was kind of weird too. Kevin and I went around Bryson, and the spotter said clear, and next thing you know, Kevin and I were touching doors, so that was a setback. But um, I think in the long run we still would have caught Gary, but the lap car there definitely played a good part. I'm sure Gary's a little irritated about that. I would be too if I was in his position, but it seems to be a recurring theme in this league, no matter what series, is the lap cars have no etiquette. So that's a little frustrating. But all in all, I think it was a good race and good team points for us at WFO.
Oh yeah, definitely a good points day for you guys out there, and like you said, the lap traffic being in the way. Obviously, with lap traffic being in the way, I can understand just because, I'm a racer. I know this. If you're not a lap down but getting ready to be a lap down and you have the pace of the leaders, by all means race. But if you know that the leaders are way faster than you and you know that you're getting ready to get past and you're going to ruin a race win for the leader, that right there, I would have been like, all right, you know what? Hey, I'm going to stay high or wherever the case may be, let you guys get on by, and then continue to run my race. And obviously, the lapped car played favor to you being down on the inside, and then Gary obviously running the inside, taking that line away, and then you just powered around on the outside. But yeah, it would definitely be frustrating if I was Gary and seeing that lap traffic not moving out of my way.
Absolutely, and I thought it would be a pretty good battle with him. I know I tried the high side, and then I knew he was going to fight back hard on the inside, so I hit him with that old crossover. It's one of the the classics there for a power move. But I thought we could have had a good little race there. Obviously, he was struggling on tires. I was reeling him in about a tenth and a half a lap. But yeah, I mean, with the lap cars, my philosophy is, I mean, if you're trying to fight the leader, there's obviously a position in front of you to gain, or if a caution comes out, you want the lucky dog. That's whatever. But when you're literally just riding around and the leaders are on you, and you're just like, man, let me just block this guy for the heck of it with 12 to go. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. Just riding the back one lap down right behind us. It's not that big a deal, but it seems to happen in the Xfinity League and in the trucks. I obviously don't race Cup. I don't like those cars. I'm sure everybody knows, but it seems like lap cars, just no matter who or where or what, they just don't pay attention. But I'm happy anyways. I got the win. I think that's number 8 on the season. So that's pretty exciting, and hopefully we can go into next week. I will be starting the Xfinity car on Monday and running the Chicago Street Course. See if I can get a win there, like I did in the trucks earlier this season, and trying to just close off the regular season strong here. I don't think I have a chance of catching Gary for the points lead, or anybody above me for that matter. I think I have a 3 or 4 race deficit to them. So just kind of go for trophies, and we'll try again in the playoffs. See what happens.
Yeah, definitely gonna be something fun. But Eddie, before we let you get on out of here, if there's anybody on that number 84 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to thank Sullivan Tire for being on the truck. They were on the Xfinity car last night, so huge shout out to them for both races. Also want to shout out Kevin. Kevin's a great teammate. We bounce back and forth with each other, try to help each other out, run setups off each other. Also want to thank Bryson for joining our team and allowing us to purchase his charter, and we look to help get him back up to speed and up in the top 5, even the top 3. Maybe get him a couple wins here, and it's nice to have a full team, and everybody that watches us and everybody in the league and you for doing what you do.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely been fun stepping in the broadcast booth. Hopefully, next season I can trade in the broadcasting and coming on down into the truck series if they make a return, and might have to team up with you and Mr. Coleman along with Bryson. So definitely going to be something fun to watch. And again, congratulations on the race win here tonight. We're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that race win, debrief with the team, and hopefully be able to see you again at next week with another race win, or even possibly Bryson or Kevin getting that race win next week.
Team WFO to the front. Have a good night.
All right, buddy. And that's going to do it for our top 3 people there getting the race win, doing whatever they needed to do, getting it all the way in and done. But that's going to do it for myself up here at the broadcast booth for CRN. My name is Dylan McDonald. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.